they're on the 17, Nigeria, the Golden Eaglets. They won their match
3-0, yeah.
3-0. Okay, but what's the picture you're painting? You said the league will need to grow, the league in Nigeria. Do you see any under 17 or under 20 players in any of the clubs in Nigeria?
No, don't. No, you can never. I mean, absolutely not possible.
So how would we sustain this team, as the under 17 team as they are now? How can they be sustained to that point where they grow into
I guess,
the Super Eagles?
you see, because at the end of the day, it depends on who you are bringing. Marugaba is the coach of that team, but there's a certain Emmanuel Amunike, the same one. There's a certain Unduka Ubade, the same one. They are the assistant coaches. These guys have the biggest coaching license you can imagine in the world. Amunike is such a humble person, he won't even talk. You won't even know what he has. He has one of the biggest... And listen, he was trained with Barcelona, he played for them before. When Iniesta, Messi were young, this guy was playing for Barcelona. He knows that's the blueprint he has. These guys have it. I mean, when I was working in England for all the TV, I used to go and visit Ubade in the Republic of Ireland, where he was in his coaching elements. So there's a lot of players from the academies which he can bring. But what the Nigerian Football Federation have done and done well, okay, you have to hand that to them, no matter what is that. They said no single player, because that was absolutely annoying, unfortunate, and I don't know what word to use before. Well, under 17 team, national team of Nigeria, you find Nigerian professional league players playing in there. None of them can ever be less than 25. So that's no more. No single player in this team is in the local league. So the problem with us is that we need to plan for the future. And like I've told you, is the league. Without your league working, your national team cannot work. It's not possible. That's why you see, that's why what Keshi did and did very well again is that he created competition in this team. That was what I used to tell everybody all the time. I said, that was South's team. That 1980 team, I was young, but I started going out with the likes of Shegun Ebami then. I was very young. I was primary, secondary school. But you see, the competition was crazy. It's not as if they were enemies, but you could see it. To play for the national team, there was crazy. Look at people are talking about Nations Cup. I'm not saying it's not possible for Nigeria not to win the Nations Cup. I'm saying, hey, calm down. Let's use the Nations Cup just to continue to build so that we can see whether our World Cup qualification can be. Listen, it's a team. We do not have a team. Okay, maybe I'm sure you're not confused, because what a team means is that it took us almost 5 years. Yeah. But around the third year, hey, you fight was going to be in goal. Iroha was going to be there. Guavon was going to be there. Yakini was going to play. Amokachi is going to play. Finidi is going to come from the right. Amokachi is going to... It's so simple. Let me tell you the truth, which you can easily verify. In the last 25 games, I did it yesterday night. Last 25 games, there's no Nigerian game, and I'm saying this without any doubt, there's no Nigerian game where 6 players play today and you will see 6 players tomorrow. That team that won 6-1, a lot of them were playing for the first time ever. So you see, you need a team, no matter how individually great these guys are. You're going to the Nations Cup to play a Cote d'Ivoire. So let's not raise our hopes. You're going to play Zambia. That Zambian team that won the last Nations Cup played together for 5 good years. Same team.
Before they
maybe one or
won
two.
that.
Yes, from the youth, under 17, under 23, youth, under 17, under 20, under 23, and the national team. 5 good years. So it's not a shock that they defeated Cote d'Ivoire. And again, let's be very frank. These players, they tried their best. It's not good to just knock them all the time. But, and it's a big but I'm talking about here, commitment. I can't see it. Like I said, I used to watch Eagles all the time. This commitment, where is it? Where is that desire to want to die for your country and everything? It's not there. It's not there. You see these guys play for their club. You see the commitment. And come on, what are we talking about? A lot of people have said, I'm one of those who keep saying, you know what, the national team must be there for our players, former players, and then, but at the end of it, come on, that's $10,000. How much is that in Naira? It's not as if you are not getting paid. Some will say, okay, they don't want to risk anything, if the country is not there for them in future. You are getting overpaid for your services now, man. So what are we talking about? Where is the commitment? Because if you play Cape Verde at the Nations Cup, they don't care who Mikel is. On the day, they want to make... Cameroon, with Eto is bigger than all our players. Eto has 10 times more than even Mikel, who earns the most for Nigeria. Cape Verde does not care whether he's there. They scored first. So football now has changed. So we have to get realistic, and I keep saying it, the league. Without that league, and our league is in comatose. I don't know what word to use. It doesn't exist. The players are suffering and it has to be all about the players.
So what can be done to change this?
Very, very simple. Very, very simple. The Nigerian Football Federation, the Nigerian Football League Board, everybody has to really, make a concerted effort. They are going to have their AGM now. You better sit down and think about it. I kept, the good thing about the board of the Nigerian Football Federation, they are listening. A lot of people are like, bring another person. I'm not falling for that again. We keep saying bring new people, and the guy was. So these ones are listening. They are meeting journalists, stakeholders, talking to them. What can we do? And you could see some of the things you are recommending to them at the end of the day. So I don't want any surprise. Again, in fact, look at how strange we are in Nigeria. Some people, there's no need to mention, even with former player, not a former player, is saying, okay, she can't do this. I can no Nigerian coach can coach the Eagles. Bring another foreign coach. Strange because Betty Vogts, former World Cup winner, former Germany European Cup winner, we brought him. Before we brought him, he was a go. I've never got to the quarterfinal of the African Cup of Nations. When Betty Vogts came, he didn't go past the first round, or where did he even get to? Liberia, whatever the name is. Lagerback, whatever the name is. Amadou qualified us for the World Cup. We all kept saying, no, it's not going to go. First round, we're back home. Will Amadou have done worse than that? Okay. So we wouldn't get it. It's about leaving that person and giving him everything he needs, all the support. But I keep saying this, the league in Nigeria, without that league, we are just wasting our time. And youth development, overage player syndrome, you have to call. Okay, now we are saying these guys, we're not 100% sure they're under 17. So what we have to do is a benchmark where you are very sure they're under 17.